Hello friends, in this session we are going to learn a very interesting poem of Kumar Bharati Standard 10, that is Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by the world famous poet Rabindranath Tagore. Friends, as all of you know that Rabindranath Tagore, he was born in 1861 and he died in 1941. Rabindranath Tagore was the author of the Gitanjali and its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse. Now he became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. This poem is one of the vastly read and discussed poems. Now it was originally composed in Bengali and later he himself translated it into English. Now this poem was from his Nobel Prize winning anthology, that is Gitanjali. Tagore lived during the time when India was ruled by the British. Now in this poem, besides the political freedom from British, Tagore also appeals to God for social and educational and economical freedom for the people of India. The poem is like this: where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of the truth, where the tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary deserts, sand of dead habits. Now where the mind is laid forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that haven of freedom, my father, let my country awake, written by Rabindranath Tagore. In this poem, Tagore talks about that where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, and he also talks about where knowledge is free. Tagore talks about an ideal country where the people are fearless and they live in dignity. He praises the virtues of the nation where there are no restriction on knowledge, where knowledge is free. Now, he also says that where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Now, he speaks about the world which has not been divided by the narrow consideration of caste, creed, race and color. He wishes to see the world where the people are honest to speak the truth. In the next line, Tagore says that where the words come out from the depth of the truth and where the tireless striving stretches his arm towards perfection. Now he says that the poet speaks that he wishes to see the world where the people are honest and they speak from the depth of the heart, and it means that they speak the truth. Now once again the poet hopes for an ideal country where everyone strives tirelessly for perfection, where the thinking of the people is not confused by the outdated tradition and convention and the customs. In the next line he says that where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, and where the mind is led forward by thee into the ever widening thought and action, into the haven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. Now in this line, he wishes to live in the world where the mind is always guided by the God and led into ever widening thought and action. He prays to God, the eternal Father, to let every citizen of his country become aware of such an ideal nation, try his best to make it a reality. Now in this way Tagore talks about a number of ideas. Now, friends, if you see that the poet has purposefully used the phrase like narrow domestic walls. What do you mean by narrow domestic walls? It means that division on the basis of religion, caste, class, and color in societies and between the countries of the world. Poet has also coined the term that is a tireless striving. It means that continuous efforts and struggle. Poet also says that stretches his arm, tireless century stretches his arm. It means that the aim at achieving the goal. Stretches his arm is what? Aims at achieving goal. Now, friends, if you see next, poet has also used the phrase that is dead habit. It means that the old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful. Poet also says that ever widening means forever broadening one's outlook. Poet has used the term that is the heaven of freedom. It means that the condition of the total freedom of good thoughts, good words, good deeds, while respecting those of others. Friends, the poet has used the terms like the head is held high. It means that a person with self-respect and proud of possessing it. The term the depth of truth. It means that the sincerity of the heart. Then mind is without fear. It means that a fearless person. He also used the tireless century stretches his arms. It means that stretches his arms means what? Means the aim of perfection. Then poet also used the term that clear stream of reason. Clear stream of reason means clear thinking. Then poet says that the dead habits. Dead habits, it means that the dried infertile land of sand. Then once again the poet says that ever widening thought and actions. It means that the broadening outlook and attitude. Now he says that they do not get entangled in the dead habits and they should follow their clear reason to enable them to develop the good ones. Father is the metaphorical figure of the God. Then he also talks about the heaven of freedom. So it's also a metaphorical. Friends, in this poem, the poet has used number of times the word. He repeated the word where. Now, what does this word where refer to? The word where means exactly. The word where means the heaven of freedom. Now, if you think about that, what effect does the repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line achieve? If you think that, then the word where is used to point out the conditions which would prevail in the heaven of freedom, which the poet wants his country to become. Now, once again, the poet has used one longest line in the poem. That is where where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic wall. Now it is of special importance because it applies to the whole world and not to just the poet's country. Means the poet has by adding this line, the poet wants to universalize the things. The poet, applies these terms, heaven of freedom, to entire world. So it also, he also wants to cross the borders of the nation, and he wants to create the heaven of freedom. Which line in this poem refers to the poet's concern about the whole humanity? The line is where the world has not been broken up into the narrow domestic walls or narrow fragments by narrow domestic walls. So once again the poet wished that his countrymen should be proud and dignified. Very first line says that where the head is held high. Now next in that as we have already mentioned, that the word where refers to the haven of freedom. Now, friends, if you think about the qualities, different qualities that the poet wants his countrymen to possess. So, what are that qualities? These qualities are the fearlessness, sincerity of the heart, self-respect, then broad-mindedness, clear thinking, striving for perfection, refusal to be confused by the outdated customs and tradition. So these qualities the poet wants his countrymen to possess. Then once again, the poet wishes for his country or his countrymen to be like. The poet wishes his country to be fearless, one in which there are no restrictions of knowledge. His countrymen to be self-respecting, broad-minded, clear thinking, sincere, striving for the perfection, and not being confused by the outdated customs and tradition. Once again, the same things the poet is expecting from his countrymen. The poem is written in free verse. So, as you know that the idea of freedom he wants to express through the rhyme scheme, as he wants to break all the shackles of the slavery, and it was the time when India was ruled by the British. And now in this poem, beside the political freedom from the British, Tagore also appeals to God for the social, educational, economic freedom for the people of India. And at the same time, he wants to break all this, bondages on all the restriction from the poem. And that's why he did not use any rhyme scheme over there. So the poem is written in free verse. So idea of freedom is expressed through the use of free verse in this poem. So the repetition is there. That is the predominant figure of speech in this poem. At the same time, the poet has coined certain terms that he used the narrow domestic walls. So use of metaphor is there. The narrow domestic walls of caste, creed, and all that he wants to actually stress over here. Then, if you concentrate on the line, tireless striving stretches his arms towards perfection. In this line, the sound "sir" is repeated in this line. So, striving stretches. So, in this line, we have the alliteration. That is the figure of speech, as the sound "sir" is repeated. Then once again, into the dreary deserts, sands of dead habits. Now in this line, the sound "the" is repeated. Then where the mind is led forward by thee. In this line, thee is a old English word, you. Then the poet says that into the haven of freedom, my father, led my country away. He addresses to his father. Who is the father? The father is the God. So once again, the father is a metaphorical figure. Then haven of freedom, actually he wants to, as I already mentioned, that haven of freedom is also, in this line also, the metaphor is there. In this line, the poet addresses to my father, means God. Now, here, the figure of speech is apostrophe. Apostrophe means when the person is addressing, or when the poet addresses to the the person or thing that is not present over there. So, is apostrophe. So, in this way, these are the various figures of speech is used in the poem. So, when one is going to appreciate the poem, so certain points we have to consider while appreciating the poem. The first thing is that the title of the poem. The title of the poem is "Where the Mind is Without Fear." Then the poet. Here once again we have to write one or two lines about the poet. Then once again we have to talk about the rhyme scheme. As there is no rhyme scheme, the poem is written in free verse. So we have to mention that the idea of freedom is expressed through the free verse. That is also important thing, and it's one of the feature of this poem. Then we have to talk about the theme of the poem. The theme of the poem is that the poet, the idea of freedom is there, that he wants to reflect in this poem. You have to write the theme of the poem within 2-3 lines, and for that you have to refer the discussion in the earlier session. Then you have to write the figure of speech. You have to write the name of the figure of speech, and if you write the example and the explanation of it, it will be the best thing. One more thing, don't forget to subscribe this educational channel, as we are going to upload the educational videos and other SSC guidance videos in this educational channel. Thank you for watching this video.